I recently reconnected with one of my college professors. I had brain damage when I was taking his class, so I didn't do well, and I actually had to drop out of his class. But he was a nice guy, and I recently found out that he's actually getting into full stack web design too. So because of that, I said, you know what, this is the perfect time. Let's talk about this. So I went on his site and I noticed the CSS issue immediately. Immediately you can see an issue here. Now, I automatically knew what was going on, but if you ever are confused, remember how we accessed the developer tool? Again, right click and you can access developer tools. So remember this intimidating thing we looked at last time? I knew this was a height problem because this is a divider and something about the height was wrong. So to confirm, all you have to do is you click on this right here. You find this little box. So this box is called left. Its ID is called left. So you can find its corresponding CSS here. This is the CSS left. So if you look at the height, watch what I do. See that? So it is a height problem. And the reason I knew it was this was because Professor Van Erp, he set a green dash border. Let's refresh this again. Because he set a border, I could tell the border was showing me that the height was off. Once we figured out what's going on, what can we do? Well, you saw one way. This is not the best way, but you can just drag the height of this box. But a better way would be to make it responsive. What if I add more? Then I'm gonna have to physically drag the height. So why not use something like fit content? Or you can also use something called max content. What these things do, they are adaptable. So for example, I have it on max content. Watch what happens when I add something. So I'm going back here, right? So this is how you edit the list in HTML. I can do a whole video on this in the future. Check this out. So I'm going to add another one right here. We're going to add another list item. That's what li means, test. And then we'll add another one, list item, test2. It automatically updates the height of this box. Now, if we didn't have this as max content, let's say we had this set as 500 pixels. So it's down there, right? So let's say we were doing the old approach of physically adjusting from the back end. Then we'd have to, every time we add new items, we'd have to change the height. That's not the most efficient way. So again, we'll use fit content here. The other thing about using a more flexible setting here is, let's say I wanted to delete this. I don't want these two. So watch what happens when I delete them. I'm gonna delete this element. See, the box naturally shrinks, the border. You see that? Let's say I don't want this. So this goes hand in hand with working smarter and also about responsiveness, right? You see that? Setting one thing, just one thing in a better way, it saves the hassle of having to physically change this every time you add another element here. So that's just a quick little CSS thing I wanted to show you guys. We can always refresh this. This is what his page looks like now. Going back to the box model, another way you could have seen this is to go here into the box, right? So for example, what if we change this? See that? So there's other ways you could figure this out, right? So we'll mess with a padding here. See that? So there's other ways you could have figured it out by using more of the box model. But for me, looking at the error here, I was able to eyeball this, figure out immediately it was a height issue. So I'm just giving you different ways of problem solving for an issue that's CSS related. What makes CSS so fun and what makes a lot of people stick to front end is that it's a lot of eyeballing, tweaking in a way. It almost feels like play if you're able to have fun with it. And I hope that's what I showed you guys with looking at Professor Von Erp's page. We're able to just play around with little CSS settings, and it made his page prettier. I hope you like this quick exploration. Professor Von Erp, good reconnecting with you. And for everyone watching, we'll talk about coding and web design soon. Bye-bye.